I was going to read the article that was attached to this, but I said, let me just come straight off of the dome with what I'm about to discuss right here. So, in case y'all don't know who this guy is, this man's name is Jason Wright. He used to play in the NFL a while ago. Had I guess you could say, a fairly decent career. And now his life has completely changed for the better, even more so. And he has already now made history. Jason Wright has now become the first black person in NFL history to be the president of an NFL team. The first black person ever, whether man or woman. And he, based on what I've read, is the fourth person who used to play in the NFL to achieve this kind of position for an NFL team as far as being a president goes. Now, the team he's going to be the president for is what they're labeling now as the Washington football team. The reason why they're calling it that is because, they just recently got rid of the name Redskins. So the Washington Redskins is no more as far as a title of the team. They're about to go into, I guess, some rebranding and come up with a new name. They still have yet to pick a name. That's why right now the tentative name is the Washington football team. And that's who he's going to be the president for. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say, first off, congratulations to this man for achieving something that no other black person has ever done until now. Which leads me into what I'm about to discuss, what I really wanted to talk about. So it leads into this. I hope that they genuinely selected him to be the president of this team because he earned it and that he genuinely deserves and he's qualified for the position. And hopefully not for some kind of symbolic gesturisms. Like how they've been known to do in the past with other people to try to put them there to so-called represent us and, just as a figurehead, so to speak. And how ironic they choose a black man to be the first NFL president ever for a team that does not even have a title yet. And, a team that used to be the title of Redskins and, they were going through all of that for years. I guess they say we got to put a black man there. I mean, if we put a Native American there, then it's going to look too obvious. So they put someone, there. Now, mind you, the NFL has been around, I want to say since the fourth. Sorry about that. Y'all don't know what happened. It just switched to another screen. But anyway, what I was saying was the NFL has been around, I think, since the 40s, maybe the early 50s. And the league is overwhelmingly black. It's about 70% black, maybe a little bit more. They have some black coaches. They have yet to make one black owner. Like, I don't think that'll happen anytime soon at all. And now they just received or just got their first black president for any team ever in NFL history. And you also got to look at the timing as well. Notice how they made him the president of a team that is the only team currently now going through rebranding. And while the NFL is kind of at a standstill right now because of the virus. So I take into account all of what is going on with this right here. Because they like to throw out, like I said, nigger trinkets to us all the time. Every single time, and expect us to jump for joy every single time it happens. Look at what's going on with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. That is nothing more than one big ass nigger trinket. It really is. Not saying that what he's doing is considered a nigger trinket, but it is what it is. But also, notice this. In the last couple of years, because of what's been going on with Colin Kaepernick, a lot of people, especially a lot of black people, started to scale back on the NFL and watching it. Then what did they do? They threw out another nigger trinket with Jay-Z in hopes that that would bring people back in to watch the NFL. But I don't think that really worked because look at who they got to perform at the halftime show this year. J-Lo and Shakira. And I know why they did it because it was in Miami. So, they figured they catered to a lot of Latinos and Hispanics and people down there. So I get it. But even so, I still don't think it really worked. See, the NFL has left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths over the last 4 or 5 years. So it's going to be hard for them to come back from this. And like I said, they've been trying to get that Redskins name changed forever. And they finally broke Dan Snyder down like a fraction and got them to actually do it. He probably threw a temper tantrum in the process. Now, if this guy can actually help the Redskins get to at least the championship, if they never make it to the Super Bowl, then I would say he has done his job. And I hope that he will get credit for it, because they'll bring someone black in there and they'll take the credit for it and snatch it right from under you like it's nothing. So hopefully he does get the credit that he definitely deserves for the role he plays in the success of the team, should the team become successful. Because as you know, the now formerly Redskins, they've been slacking a lot over the last couple of decades. I think the last time they went to the Super Bowl was in the early 90s. So I hope that is actually genuine and it's not, some kind of symbolic thing, but something tells me in the back of my mind that this is a symbolic gesturing type of thing. But I'm glad that it's going to work out for him. I mean, it's really good for him. But I hope that, and unfortunately it probably is, just something to throw out there in hopes to get people to watch the NFL again. But like I said, Roger Goodell, he left a lot to be desired with a lot of the stunts he's pulled. And look at the stuff that he did just this year alone when he tried to scale back on the things he said and he's done ever since the whole Colin Kaepernick incident. It's too late now. You can keep your little apology or whatever it is you want to call it, because none of us are falling for it. And that's the thing. They expect black people to just fall in line. Every single time something happens like that. And now that they see a lot of black people have figured it out finally, they don't know what to do with themselves. They running around here like a chicken with their head cut off. But like I said, this is no slight to him. I'm glad he got the position. I said my congratulations. Hopefully he does great things with this team, wherever it is that they may go. But take into consideration all of this. One, they bring him in after the whole George Floyd thing. So, and that now white America is pandering hard. Two, for a team that is in dire need of rebranding, restructuring. Three, this is the first black president that the NFL has ever had in their 70-something plus year history. 70-something, 60 plus, whatever the year is. I can't remember. I don't know the year the NFL started, but I know it was in the 50s or before. It was another point that I made, but I can't remember exactly what it is, but that point too. But I'm not going to jump for joy for this. And that's another thing that they expect you to do. They expect you to leap when you hear something like this. And I'm not about to do that. I am not about to do that. Let's see what he actually does. Well, if you are a fan of the Redskins, this lines more up with you than anything. You, as a Redskins fan or formerly Redskins fan, you have to see his work ethic. What is he going to do to improve this team? Because for those of us who doesn't watch the NFL, this doesn't benefit us at all. But for those of you who do, or are a fan of that team, now you're going to see what he's made of. And like I said, if he can turn the team around in just this year alone, then I would say then that will be when I know they actually genuinely picked him because he knew he was the right man for the job, and it wasn't because he was black.